Sorry, folks. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. I would have had a better title card for this, but I forgot. So you're going to have to put up with Japanese kanji for a minute. Same as before. This is Unnecessary Commentary, Episode 2. The American Godzilla. Which was created in 1956 in an unprecedented move, especially since anti-Japanese sentiment was really high still in the States, for them to take a Japanese film that wasn't Akira Kurosawa and bring it over to America and film new stuff for it, like, and put it out there. It's really unprecedented. It's not better, but it's cool, and it opened the door for everything. So, we're gonna watch it, and I hope you enjoy it. So this is Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 1956, starring Raymond Burr, sort of, and a lot of body doubles. And the voice actor for Ogata and Sarazawa are the same guy who is also the guy who is Noodle People in Kung Fu Panda. There's a lot going on in this flick. It's shorter than the original. It's goofier. The tone is much lighter because American audiences didn't really give a shit about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, so all that imagery is kind of just destruction. A lot of the subplots are just, the characters are much thinner because they had to shoehorn in, Raymond Burr everywhere. But I digress. Let's Eddie, let's start this fucker. All right, we're going to bring up our window right now. I think. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing here. Bingo! Hi, everybody. And we're going to start the show. So, again, just like Riff Tracks, I'm going to start the timer the second the Criterion logo disappears in your Godzilla Blu-ray or DVD. I'm going to try to keep you abreast. I should be able to quote this a little better. So when I say something, it should sync up with the movie more or less. I'll tell you. We'll keep it clean. There's our Criterion logo. Ba-ba-da-da. They really did an excellent job on this Blu-ray. One second. We're going to have to restart this because I forgot to reset the damn timestamp because I'm an idiot. What a dummy. This is why this is episode 1 and 2. Again, the Criterion Collection logo is going. And you can start now. Okay, good. That should be good. So your timestamp should sync up with the audio. It should. Again, I'm not 100% sure. A trans-wild release. Again, this is the Criterion most recent Blu-ray release of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. There you go. One of the most famous logos of all time. Oh, yeah, wait, we have some guests. I have a guest. See, this one starts out with the destruction and Raymond Burr. This is my Shogun Warriors Godzilla. My constant companion from when I was a child. He's been with me for 32 years, I think. I wanted him on stream. Don't shoot your missile at my camera. Bump. Let's see if I can get the tongue out. Nope, I can't. I'll have to take his tongue out manually. Blah. Oh, your head's coming apart again. Poor Godzilla's very old. He's just a little senile. So here we see Raymond Burr waking up in rubble. Bump, 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 bump. I lived in my car for a year. This fucker was with me. So, Raymond Burr expositing and crawling out of rubble. And looking at a dude who wasn't as fortunate. He looks drunk. Again, this film starts way differently. A lot of this is flashbacks. Interestingly, this movie's 10 minutes shorter, even though they added a bunch of stuff. But again, showing this devastation now is like foreshadowing, but there's no setup. This is just destruction. And Raymond Burr expositing heavy-handedly. It's pretty funny that like Raymond Burr's character just happens to know all the major players in this movie. Okay, now granted, he is a newspaper writer in this, so his heavy-handed way of speaking and of exposition is, you know, it's in character. Also, the matching of scenery and body doubles in this film is actually pretty fucking good. It's not like they hacked this together. Yeah, like Godzilla 85, which we're going to get to eventually. Yo, Emiko! It's my bachelor party all over again. Again, this one's going to be a lot more jokey. He has a cross around his neck. I don't really know. I never noticed that before. Bad dubbing, I love you. Yeah, he's not even really badly hurt. He's a drama queen. And again, they also use the original soundtrack to pretty good effect. These are all things that they never do again. Back when you could smoke in a plane. Fuck lung cancer. Fuck secondhand smoke. I'm an American. It is interesting. They insinuate that they're flying over the boat wreckage. And when they came up with the idea for the movie, Toho was in dire straits, and the writer of the film, or the producer, I forget who, was flying and looking down at the ocean and thinking about what monsters could be beneath the ocean and unseen. And again, that bright flash of light and a fireball. It's pretty self-explanatory what they were going for there. And down it goes. Blah, 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 blah. It's funny that the camera tracks in like the radio signals coming in, then down the antenna. Like, hey, we're tracking the actual signal. This is the same plane that lands And this is a postcard. That was the same plan that lands in the Japanese version when they say international folks are coming. Pose me, sir. Why Dr. Serizawa has a 50-year-old assistant, I'll never know. See, much more important than you, Steve. I love the American version of this. Does not translate the Japanese dialogue. It just says Japanese. Paranoid American. Again, if you're watching this and you're like, this guy's making too many jokes, I just did the Japanese version. Not as many jokes. I smoked a lot. I don't know. Of course you are. Oh, whoa, whoa. Okay, sorry to take your time. You better get the fuck out of here. Again, they do touch on the should we print this shit or not. It's not completely tactless. Stupid American. It is amazing. This movie is very different. Like it's almost like a different movie entirely. I don't know what these people were expecting to happen if they break into this room. Like, were they just going to steal papers? Like, I knew it. I knew it. There was an alien at Roswell. This. It's funny how much of the Steve Martin stuff is exposition because they didn't feel like dubbing. It's actually kind of brilliant. And it's funny that like Steve Martin doesn't speak English. He just happens to be in Japan visiting friends. So he is basically the audience. So we're just going to stand here. We don't even get to see that crew. Boom, boom, boom. There's a lot of international speaking. George Lawrence is the unsung hero of Godzilla. 8 ships? Maybe you should stop sending rescue ships after, I don't know, 4 or 5. Reporting before the internet. So I think this is a telegraph office. I'll never let go, Jack. It's actually also amazing just how much of the dialogue in this film is still Japanese with no subtitles. They were taking action. They sent 7 more ships out there. Wallpaper's a pretty good match. Not perfect. I have to close my closet door here because it's getting late. It's not closing. Shit. Again, you don't know what the fuck he's saying. Yeah. Let's go. And we're not going to help things bring modern technology to them. Poor Shikiji. He has like nothing to do in this movie now. And they're just screaming in Japanese. It's a testament to how evocative this film is, the original, that they could do this to it and it would still be that poignant. Like, I couldn't understand normal audiences seeing this for the first time in 56. Like, you don't know that that's his brother. And this film claims that he dies right away. Even though I think we see him die later on. So they show like 50 boats arriving and then a helicopter. Steve is literally at every. Steve Martin in this is a lot like the T.J. Miller in Cloverfield, where just the monster seems to be following around. See? Basically the same scene, just with Steve Martin rather than not Misaki, the reporter. He's backwards ass native. He's very American. It is nice that the ceremony's in this. It's the dance of the salt shakers. Cthulhu. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. He's a native. Godzilla. Godzilla being the bastardized American way of pronouncing the kanji for Godzilla. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, Steve's wearing boxers. And smoking again. This film promoted giant mutant dinosaurs and smoking. Nani? Oh, you smell something, Steve? There's a raging typhoon outside. Their tent isn't so much as just no movement whatsoever. There it goes. They must have been on a protected part of a mountain or something. Oh, there's the dude they claim died on the raft. Hug that tree, Steve. Again, Shiki Jiki runs out. And the coward that stays behind. Him get flattened. That roar is still the coolest ever. Without knowing what the fuck is going on. Not speaking Japanese. There's some wackiness. And then here's Steve Martin. No relation to the arrows through the head guy. Just clinging to a tree in the rain. With his faithful Japanese sidekick who we'll never see again once they leave this island. Oh no, that's not true. I forgot. I have a bad habit of resting my nose on my finger. I don't know why. I'm aware of this shit now because I've got a camera on. As you would. Apparently Odo Island is a hop, skip, and a jump from Tokyo. This is completely truncated. Steve claims his Japanese is rusty, yet he's writing stuff down in the middle of this like he understands every word. He must have a universal translator for this. And major characters in the original are relegated to random expositional characters in this version. And here, Yamane brings a fucking Bigfoot. Seems legit. Yeah, harumph. Yeah, this is boring the fuck out of me. Do you understand him? Again, that's a pretty damn good body double. And the only problem is that with this is sometimes they talk over the score. Steve Martin just slinking along. Yeah. No kidding. Couldn't they have taken the long way around? You know. I think that newspaper man is watching us. Here we go. Yeah, what are we, 25 minutes in? Haven't seen even this version, barely seen Godzilla yet. And this version moves a hell of a lot faster. That's a pretty good matte shot. Not perfect. You see a little shifting. Again, for the 50s, it's really good. Especially filmmaking in the 50s in Japan was not as sophisticated. Tsuburaya is an innovative master when it comes to camera work as well as miniatures. Oh, that explains my three-eyed baby. Yes, yes, yes. Please don't let Roland Emmerich steal this shot for his lousy American 1998 Godzilla. Please. Steve Martin's like, dude, what the fuck did he just say? He already warned them about the ground being dangerous. I don't know why that's a revelation. Got a point. Yeah, I'm looking. It's so fabulous. I'm going to look for some more. It's. Dude, he just said Godzilla. Were you listening? It's safer up on the hills. I am going to recreate this very famous shot. Give me a second. When we're ready here. Steve stops to adjust his tie. We're evacuating you, asshole. My subtitles say Japanese, even though it's clearly Adosima, which is father. Here we go. Ready? Here's the mountain. I'm trying to get this right. Everything's reversed. Steve's like, I am out of here. It is funny that his friend Tomo falls like that. There we go. Here we go. Oh, gotta go. No, he's still there. Good to get you, Emiko. This is the NECA 54 Godzilla, by the way. Really good. Really detailed. I love this one. Most of NECAs are pretty good. See how long this lasts. I never noticed. Ogata is pouring sweat there. Or he got doused with some liquid, I don't know. They've got samurai swords, too. They were going to cut Godzilla up. Thank you, Steve. Look at the size of that. Oh, wait, that's his tail. Sorry, Godzilla. No, it was the Cretaceous. We'll let that go. He's only a paleontologist. See, no feathers on that T-Rex. Sorry, gotta hydrate. Usually when I don't have a camera on when I stream, so I don't realize how often I'm drinking. I'm usually drinking this much. Dr. Yamani's like, I gotta put some stuff out here that you're not gonna like. All these centuries, by the way. 65 million years to the Cretaceous. Jurassic's more like 126. He's claiming that there's been Godzillas procreating under the water for like millions of years, and that the H-bomb woke him up or sent him out to us. Now, again, this is heavy shit, too. It's not like they were experimenting with H-bombs. The Americans were. And they couldn't do shit because of the treaty they signed after World War II. Like, they literally have to let us drop bombs on them. It's fucked. George! That's why he's a newspaper man, folks. I don't know. Depth. You suck, Steve. Men's, what is this? News Agency of Japan. Okay. I'm reading it backwards. A rotary phone, folks. It's pretty good. That's for sure. Moshi moshi. My fish are finished too. Again, it's a real good job they did. In this, she's gonna flat out marry Ogata. In Gojira, yeah, they're just kind of, know what I mean? Wink, wink, not judge. Emiko's voice actress does not really match her. She's supposed to be a young girl. She sounds like a woman in her 50s. And it's very jarring when they leave the original actress's voice in. It's one of the few real criticisms that I have of this job. Come down to my basement. I keep it locked. Hey, Master's turned on the lights. That's a lot of fish. Where's my grandfather's private library? Hello, fish. Again, Honda gets a lot of shit for directing. Gojira is a well-directed movie. I love how he just keeps it. I don't understand why it doesn't. I think it needs a slight electrical charge, right? Yeah, okay. Because he just keeps it in a bowl. Further back. Something went down in that tank. Yeah, the voices there are a little rough. Bye bye. That's what she said. Oh, mama. Yep. Again, this is all real, so the graininess of it makes it me think that it is actual footage just taken and repurposed. Again, everybody in this involved in this movie had worked on propaganda films for the Japanese, so although Japan was allied with the Germans, and I don't think anybody else had submarine technology at the time. I like how the news is just playing this, and it's clearly night here, and the footage is from the daytime. I don't know if they had video recording back then. At least they go into that here. Yamani's reasons for being so broody are like, they're not as deep, but at least they're there. I don't know why it was, well, terrible because they lost all those boats, I guess. Short-lived? Weirdo. Oh, my head is pounding. What'd you put in the sake? Oh, that's interesting. My let me see something here. I wasn't paying attention to that. "40 minutes in, I realized that the slideshow isn't going. One second. Well, the slideshow's going to be off. Sorry. Again, I'm learning. Again, the usage of the original score. This is a very... The level of nitpicking and tucking in this version of this movie is... You'll never see it again outside of the digital age, I suppose. Although nowadays they just show a movie. They wouldn't go to these lengths to Americanize something. Hi. And she brings beer. Sing Sao. That's an actual Japanese beer. Oh, no, wait, that's Chinese. That's what we used to get in Chinatown. Sorry for being so American. How does he know? Oh, yeah, that's right. He knows the footstep sound. I smell Godzilla. You coward. And here he is. At just about the halfway point, we get our first real look at Godzilla. Again, people complaining about Gareth Edwards' Godzilla. I'll never understand it. Complain about it because it isn't a great movie. I mean, it's not. It's fun. I love it, but I understand it's not a great work of art as a film. But the people who complain about not enough Godzilla, I just don't get. Apparently, King of the Monsters 2019 has a lot more Godzilla in it. We'll find out. Part of the reason I'm doing these is because of the new Godzilla. Again, I don't get the people trying to get back into the city. I don't know how Yamane got there either. There's no real... our first shot. There's no real... like, placement. We're not exactly sure whether his house is. He goes from his house to this bridge to another hill. Steve's there inexplicably looking down at what he should be looking across from. We'll get into Steve's perspective in the main attack. And that's a pretty damn good shot. A staple of Godzilla films. People running underneath him. And they're looking down. It's like they're way up here. And Godzilla's like down here. The last thing those two guys saw was a giant heel. That's pretty fucked up. Tail porn. These idiots are saving their luggage. Get the fuck out. They added that scream there. There's a few added screams in this version to make it a little more horrific. Not there, though. I'm sorry, I have the subtitles on, so it's like just screaming and shouting on the screen underneath the video. One bridge down. Steve's like, it said man number 2. That was obviously Yamane's voice actor. Yeah. Why the big hole in the middle of the table? Look at that analog typewriter, you fucking millennials. Steve smokes a fucking pipe like a man in the 50s. He didn't vaping. We're not sure why. By the way, it's 90,000 in the Japanese version. 300,000 here. Arigato. You fucking gaijin. Yeah. Again, did you have to bring the credenza, Steve? This fucker's got his entire kitchen cabinetry. I couldn't imagine dealing with this. Even okay, obviously kaiju attack, okay, but being evacuated because of a bombing or some shit like that. Ugh. Being forced into a fucking on a mat in the middle of a gymnasium packed with 3,000 people. Yeah. Ugh. Fuck. All right, here is Steve's building. It doesn't make a lot of sense where his perspective is. He's on like the third story. Fucking reel to reel. That tape deck is the size of my computer. Watch and wait. Wait and watch. Fuck, I don't know. They don't mention the spotlights attracting him in this version, which makes the flashlight kind of dumb when they go down to see him in the water. I love how he's like splashing. He's trying to dog paddle. Godzilla's not much of a swimmer. That's why I hear his thunderous footsteps underwater. All right, now he supposedly can see the ocean from this building. And I'm in a 3-story building. We're coming up to the line that my mother loved. Again, this movie endears me to my mother in many ways. She's, rest her soul. It's going to be now it seems Tokyo has no defense line. Me and my mom and I didn't have much in common. I'm a bit of a weirdo. But Godzilla was definitely a bonding point. She showed it to me when I was 3 years old. Tail porn. They must be terrible shots. They're only hitting his feet. And he breaks out the fire breath. Again, I said it in the Gojira, but the fact that those are wax and just put under intense lights so they melted is just brilliant. The FX in this are brilliant. There it was. Now it seems Tokyo has no defense. Godzilla's are you damn right. There it goes. Again, he's a malicious bastard in this one. Oh, you people are running away from me? And again, you can't imagine how hot it was in that suit. Huge lights. When you film something in super slow motion, you have to light it 4 times. And then there's fire everywhere, and the suit's hot at the beginning. It's a latex suit with a cotton underlayment to try and fill it out, based over I think it was a wooden bamboo frame. And I mean, the guy would regularly pass out. He could film for maybe 5 minutes at a time. There's more of that screaming they added in. That's some brutal shit. And again, Steve is looking down. His perspective is way off in this whole scene. Especially at the end. You'll see. I'll point it out because I'm going to laugh. Ah, look at you assholes. Doink. Here it is. Oh, even as a kid, that made me laugh. They wanted to do Godzilla complete stop motion, but They didn't have the fucking budget. This movie is heavily inspired by King Kong, obviously. They wanted this to be the Japanese King Kong. Godzilla's like, bring it on, tank boys. Looking at this now, back to back again, and I'm thinking of just how much Shin Gojira is inspired by this movie. We'll be doing Shin at some point as well. Peace out. We shouldn't have left all those oily rags on the road. What were we thinking? Well, yeah. This is the one. All right, I mentioned this in Gojira, but the sound wasn't as bad. This is pretty funny. This, as a kid, this made me laugh super hard. This might have been the first time my mom looked at her little 3-year-old son and went, he's a little fucked up. Here comes Sis Boom Ba. I don't know why. I don't know why that makes me laugh. It always has. Again, you can't say enough about the model work. Tsuburaya and his crew, in such a short amount of time, did such amazing work. There's a bit of a bumpy matte shot. And there's a normal speed shot that should be slowed down. He looks very bird-like there. Very fast, sped up tail shot. Super slowed down, so much so that you can actually see each grain problem with this footage. It's still a good shot, though, and it really shows off the detail they went into the spine glowing before he breathes his fire. Although, again, in this, it's more atomic mist that just ignites. I fell into a burning sea of fire. Again, a bit of a bumpy matte shot, mostly because the weight of the suit would make the soundstage like bounce a little when it walked. Time is an abstract construct. I hate it. And there it goes. I don't know what those assholes were doing on that balcony. That's a pretty good shot. Why would you be taking flash photography? I mean, I guess that's the only kind of photography you had at the time. But Jesus, you might as well invite him up there to burn you. That's a great shot. Sorry, Steve. T-Rexes are not feathered. Fuck off. I love how everybody else is like, fuck this, we're out of here. And Steve's looking down at the destruction. Everybody's packing their shit up, and he's still staring out the window, oblivious. Then he glances up, and the perspective means that he should have been staring at the building across the street this whole time. And Godzilla's breathing fire there. Technically, he should have been incinerated in a wall of fire. But instead, the building just sort of hits him. And that model falling down that gets repeated. They show footage from another destroyed building of Godzilla's tail going by, where you can clearly see the string. His cute little ears. They never bother any kind of translation there or dub. Sarah's house like, I wish Game of Thrones was on. No, we shouldn't. Bump, bump. Ba-da-da-da. Yamani's pretty good at looking aghast. That's a really good shot. And here comes the Air Force. Let's go get him, Maverick. Here, let's recreate this scene. Where the hell are we here? There we go. I'm a 45-year-old man playing with his toys. And again, everybody's cheering. It's like he was leaving anyway. It's like a bouncer shoving a guy out the door when he's on his way out. Peace. In case you forgot about this horrible stuff from before, let's show it again, folks. Watch it, you dummies. God. I guess the doctor saw Steve because he wrapped him up like a fucking mummy. Ogata's body double's not so great. His hair's like a little slicked back too much. Bitch, please. but certainly not New York or L.A. Bucka wow. When they showed the scene before, he distinctly said, "Get back." Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. I like how the two fish skeletons are kind of like intertwined. They're in love. Oh, wait, they're disintegrated. Look how fucking sweaty Sarazawa is there. It is pretty interesting, like, they got Emiko to just exposit over this entire sequence. my my subtitles just went liquid bubbling. Kind of fucked that up, didn't I? Well, you only have one eye now. He might take it bad. No pressure. Wait, you're going upstairs. Why are you going upstairs? I see there's some fish here you haven't murdered yet. This is a conversation he does not want to have. I might have let it slip. Emiko is very odd crying. I don't know why he's knocking. He knows you're there. Please stop. Dun, 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 dun. Again, the scientist beat up the naval officer. Japanese revere scientists. At least in the 50s. Sorry I kicked your ass, Ogata. Dude, why? They don't go into it here. Like, it's one line of dialogue about his fears. I can't believe as a kid I never knew that this was the same guy. Doing both voices. Who is also Lei Pan from Big Trouble in Little China. It's actually a better line, I think. In my opinion, that's a better line. Why Yamane is doing this voice, I don't know. We've got a paleontologist. Do some TV remote. Today, CNN would probably be denouncing the monster, and Fox would be like, eh. Or vice versa. Depends on who the monster voted for. I wonder if this is a song they had like ready, or they just they put this together in like a few hours. Although, from what I understand, it's a prayer. It might actually be like our equivalent to a hymn, for all I know, which is admittedly very little. I also think these are all girls, which I never noticed before. I wonder. I guess Japanese schools are probably segregated at this point. Man, Persona would be a bitch in this era. Damn it, children, you got me again. Again, he doesn't have anywhere near as much character. None of them do. It's a shorter film with stuff added, so his sacrifice isn't anywhere near as poignant. Emiko cries a lot in this version too. In this version too, they just kind of shove Sarazawa out down the into the water. They kind of let him. Whee! This still gives me heebie-jeebies a little. I don't like being under. I'm fascinated by sharks and underwater stuff, but I don't want to be in there. Rando fish. Like, he's so peaceful. He's just sleeping. He wasn't going to bother anybody ever again. He was done. That was a good shot. I can't imagine the camera rig that they needed to get underwater footage in the 50s. I might have to Google that shit. Like, shots like this are obviously just, they're not underwater, obviously. I mean, just the graining, like, oh God, I couldn't imagine what they had to go through to get these shots. Inexplicably, Steve's on the boat. Man, I wouldn't want to think about what happened to suits 3 and 4. The voice acting kind of fails in this instance, too. You'll see it in a minute. Here's Ogata in the Japanese version. And when he gets to the surface and he starts calling down, he's like, Sarazawa, pull the line up. Answer me. It's an Asian guy sounding like an American, black comedian doing a white American voice. Again, there's very little relation to where Sarazawa and Godzilla are in this shot. Although that shows you he was right there under his foot. I wonder if maybe you were supposed to think that he was stepped on at that point. If he could swim, Godzilla could have swum away, but he can't. He just walks underwater. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that the Oxygen Destroyer eats through boats, too. Sorry, folks. Flash that light at the camera. There you go. Seppuku. Dude. Of course, as a kid, I was crying for the monster, not Sarazawa. You fuckers! This is another one, too. He just sort of goes, ah! Hey! Steve Martin's sporting a Rurouni Kenshin scar on his face. There he goes. Blah, 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 blah. Steve Martin is Samurai X. Basically, that's somebody holding this in a tub of water with bubbles. Like, poor Godzilla. Bones and then nothing. People murmuring. Even though this is kind of Sarazawa's voice. He didn't really change between Ogata and Sarazawa. Again, in Gojo the Tai Destroyer, we find out Emiko and Ogata did not live happily ever after. And they were never able to recreate this experiment. It's kind of like Steve Rogers' super serum, actually. Oh, we do get credits in the American one. Wow, they actually give the Japanese actors their names. Nice. Although I don't see the Japanese actors for the American scenes. That's a funky background, too. That's some 70s ass background. Directed by Terry Morse, but Honda directed it. There we go. Ishido Honda. Okay. I was going to say, you fuckers better give him his due. Original story by Shigeru Kayama. As Godzilla thunders off into the distance. It's interesting that the credits are at the end of this. I thought that was early enough where it would be in the beginning. Tsuburaya Watanabe. Some good shit. Monsters in their fields. Jewel a Toho production presented by Jewel Enterprises in 1956. The end. Or is it? All right. That's Godzilla. Oh, my fucking... my slideshow's fucked up. Sorry about that. We'll get the hang of this sooner or later. Well, that's unnecessary commentary for Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 1956. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see how this goes over. I'll probably be doing more of these. This will be like a once a month thing, maybe. Maybe every other Sunday. I don't know. We'll see how it is received. But I'll let everybody know what movies we're doing before we broadcast. I should have given everybody a heads up a little better tonight. But this was kind of a spur of the moment thing. So that's it for me tonight. It is 1:30 in the morning almost, and it's time to go to bed. I gotta work. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. We might get back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance tomorrow night, or I might take the night off because we'll be doing the Castlevania collection Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll see how the week goes. Otherwise, thank you for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. If you're seeing this on YouTube, I am MST3KNJ on YouTube. I am Thomas10273 on Twitch and Twitter. So if you like what you saw here, tons of content on those outlets. And that'll do it for me tonight. Thank you for watching, everybody. Appreciate it greatly. And have a good night. Happy Mother's Day, folks.